Oops. Why am I not centered? There we go. Just got to push the right buttons, Max. Push the button, Max. I wonder if people are going to know that reference. All right. Where are we doing? Okay. Audio, video. Hey there. God, you're right on time. You're like, you couldn't have waited. You're like, why is the stream so like 10 minutes late today? But it's actually about normal for Fridays because it's a long story, but I go to the office in the mornings and then I got to drive home. It's a long 3-minute drive from the office to my house. You heard me correct. Well, that's not the issue though. Then I get home and I gotta hang out for a while. I gotta set up my computer for home operation. So I'm effectively transitioning. This is really boring. You're fasting and hungry and you need this stream. Okay, well, let me get some food and eat it on stream. I gotta get some like really heavy, like calorie heavy food. I got like some peanut butter cups. I could eat those chocolate peanut butter cups. Food. Nah, whatever. All right, welcome to the stream. We just got started. There's all sorts of little rituals that need to be honored, time honored. You want a pizza? Well, who doesn't want a pizza? How about order a Reese's peanut butter cup pizza? Trust me, you think it sounds bad. Just trust me. All right, and if you're gonna have a pizza, you need something to flush it down with. You're gonna want some FIFA Diet Coke. This is what we call FIFA Coke. FIFA Coke. It's Diet Coke, but that'll work. That'll work. I hope they provide the liter bottle of Diet Coke as a side from them. Sometimes they do. Some restaurants here will. Anyway, besides the Diet Coke, which is our beverage of the day, there is the beautiful. Oh, he matches my shirt kind of today. It's getting closer. Will it once again smash right into the lens? It might. But this. I would like to introduce you all to the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller. It is beautiful and it is blue and it operates using the Bluetooth wireless protocol. I'm just saying. Also, it's unique. Each one of these is a little different. It's called a Vapor Blue or something like that. All right. So we'll be using that to fly around in Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's not bad, really. That's not bad, honestly. Yeah, that's about right. It's a little less than half a liter. That's kind of, considering. I mean, it's going to be cheaper in a grocery store. But it's not the cheapest beverage. Like, I have to pay like $10 for a 12-pack. And they used to be, it's getting up there. Sometimes they have a sale. That's how I buy it. I buy it like, in days in advance. Because I got to have my Diet Coke. It's my one Diet Coke of the day. I don't have it later in the day because I don't want to have something with caffeine in it. After 2 p.m. might keep me up at night. I don't want that to happen. But that's a good beverage right there. All right, so we're going to be flying around a Microsoft Flight Simulator. Where we're going to go, don't know. What we're going to fly into, also don't know. They do. Well, we get that here, too. Look. I guess I could have two kinds of Diet Coke. I could have the one with and the one that. I don't want to. That's too complicated. What if I accidentally grab one and not the other? No, what I want to have a different beverage that's not Diet Coke. I usually get unsweetened iced tea. Yeah, that's probably true. All right, and speaking of being dumb, after the flying, let's eat lunch. After the flying, there's going to be the big brain games. That's where me and presumably the community, although you never know, will work together to solve a bunch of brain, some of them at least. That's the Quirtle, the Reveal, the Reunion, the Tightrope Trivia, the Loop, the New York Times Connections, and the Octurtle. Okay, basically in order. I have these rolled sandwiches. I don't know, they're in a thin lamba bread, like a real thin, kind of like a tortilla, but not quite. And it's like turkey and stuff and cheese rolled up, and then they cut the roll. So these like little rolls, and then they're pretty dry. They don't have anything liquid in them. That's pretty good. I mean, it's good for a real quick lunch. Then it's also very cheap at this grocery store because basically I can get like 2 days worth of these little roll things. And I dip them in Caesar dressing because otherwise they would not taste that good. It's really good that way. It's super easy. And Fritos. I mean, I don't have a fancy lunch. I have a nice dinner every night. I trust me, I have like an interesting, unique dinner. But I just grab stuff for thing. It's no, I'm on Factor Meals. If you want, it's if anyway. It's a thing. It's a delivery service. So once a week, I get a delivery of 6 of these meals that have been prepared for me by a chef. They're not like just regular shitty meals. And then they're cold and store them in the refrigerator, and I reheat them in the microwave, and then I do some prep work on them. But I wouldn't call it cooking. But they end up being really good. If you saw what it's not a huge proportion, but it's nice because I don't have to think, what am I having for dinner tonight? It's nice for a person in my particular situation. I have to ask myself, what am I having for dinner tonight? I just go to the kitchen and grab one, heat it up. That's dinner. I don't even know what tonight's dinner is going to be, but I know it's going to be pretty good. They're always pretty good. Especially if you add a little, I live in a very expensive part of the world for food. I live in California, and not only live in, which is an expensive state, but I live in an expensive part of California. Like Pleasanton, where I live, is one of the more expensive cities to live in. So everything is really expensive here. And because it's effectively a national service, it's expensive for a lot of people, but it's about the right budget for me. It also saves time for me going to the store, me cooking, and the other thing is it's more portion control but also it's really good tasting. There's always a vegetable, and there's stuff that I wouldn't necessarily get. And it's a more complicated, difficult thing to do than just one person cooking for themselves and things like that. And you don't have leftovers. And so I've been doing it for Factor for about, since January, I guess only since January of this year or December. And I'm going to stick, I like it. I'm going to stick with it. It's not always perfect. Like sometimes they mess up the orders and things like that, but it's pretty good. All right. So then there's going to be the musical segment. As I said, somebody has requested the Yamaha Revstar guitar. So I have that one right here. I'll give you a little preview. It's playing really good. I actually played a lot because first of all, it's beautiful. Secondly, it's basically new. I bought it this year. Well, that's a complicated damn question. I'll tell you that right now you can buy one of these on Guitar Center. They are at Guitar Center. This particular color is exclusive. I think they still have them, but once they run out of this batch, there's not going to be any more of this particular. There's a bunch of variations. The meals. Okay, so thank you. It's roughly $100 for 6 meals, or about $16 each, I think. $15 each. Is that what it is? In that range. You could pay more and get like a fancy steak dinner, but I tried that. It's not good. It's not worth it. So they're like $15 or $16 each, but then you buy, so once a week I have a $96 bill, which sounds like a lot. It's like, it's $400 a month, but I'm saving time and I'm saving all that money that I was doing cooking. It really depends on where you're from. Like from where I'm from, if I went out to eat, I'd be paying twice that much. If I ordered food from McDonald's and had it delivered, it'd be way more than that. Okay, you know what I mean? Just because of delivery fees and shit like that. So the cheapest way would be to go and need to buy 6 pre-made meals at the grocery store, because they have them there too, and that would be cheaper. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to do that. So these are also like delivered to your doorstep once a week. And it's I don't know, it works for me. It's not going to work for everybody, but for me, it's not necessarily the cheapest option. I mean, if I really wanted to save money, I'd have spaghetti and meatballs every night. You know what I mean? Because those are the cheapest ingredients and it's super easy. But I don't want to have just spaghetti and meatballs. I used to do that kind of, actually. I only made a few things and I'd kind of repeat what I made, and that was very common. Let's just say. And that's a lot of carbs, man. Okay, well, we've got to get to the damn show. What do we got here? Gaming. We got Microsoft Flight Simulator. All right. So I always say I never have decided in advance, but I already decided, look, I want to do the Grand Canyon and I want to fly in the gyro, the auto gyro. So let's get it going. Okay. Let's get it going. I don't want to be sitting there all day not flying. I'm sitting in the Microsoft Flight Simulator category. All right. So one of my favorite airplanes, it's not really a plane. It's not really a helicopter. It's kind of in between. Where is it? There's the Gumbree. I'll find it eventually. I got my list is a little different now. Okay, it's the Magni Gyro M24. We're going to come up with a nice color. These are real, absolutely real. You can buy them, and they're kind of sport planes. But, as you see, auto gyro is it's a different beast entirely. But we're going to be flying over the Grand Canyon. So what would be a good color? They're all good colors. Let's do this wild light yellow. It's like banana yellow. We don't do that too often. But again, yeah, I mean, it depends what value is to you and what you value your time, and whether you want to have like variety meals and things like that. All right, so the Grand Canyon is like, you know, it's not too far from, right? Anyway, this we can find because there's an airport right there that's called Grand Canyon. Oops, why did I put Canyon National? Yeah, it's this one. It's Grand Canyon Airport. And basically you don't see much there, and then boom, right? The canyon's right here. That's it right there. So there's a little bit of a flight, but not much. And these are all points of interest here. So we're kind of going to want to go south. They've redone a lot of this. Okay, so it's basically there to there. You know, we should start off from the national park and then head north. So we're going to head National Park, and then we're basically going to head northeast. And hopefully we'll see all these things have kind of been redone for the game for the very recent, just a couple weeks ago, maybe a month. World Update 22. All right, are we cold starting it? I love to cold start this plane. It's super easy. It's basically a turn some switches but again, I don't know if it's an airplane. I don't know if it's not an airplane, a helicopter. It's a little bit in between. But I always have a blast flying it. It's one of my, you know, all my planes have their appeal, but this one's first of all, it's very different. You get here's the young lady that we get to hang around with, and she's in there. So just a little walk around. You can see the engine in the back, lots of detailing. It looks like there's a rotor, and the rotor makes it look like a helicopter, but it's very different design. It's not really powered. The rotor uses aerodynamic forces to spin. There is a little gear there. You see that thing, that little cable. That's called the pre-rotor, the pre-rotation system. And then down here, we'll get into that. And then here you see where there's an oil radiator and a water radiator. It's cool. It has two radiators. That's a Rotax engine. It's aviation engine. All right, so we're going to turn on master power. We're going to open up both fuel valves. As being an aviation engine, it's going to have 2 fuel systems and 2 ignition systems. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we got to set this to there. We got power coming up there. So we're ready to start with prop clear wheel. Engine starts right up with no drama or nothing like that. Okay, we want to head northeast. You know, we're not going to see much until we get into the air. Okay, we want to turn on the transponder to ground. Okay, this is all coming up. Get in the air pretty quickly on one of these things. Turn Grand Canyon ground. We're going to be heading basically northeast. So we'll request a north departure. Doesn't really matter what we request. Hello, a little Grand Canyon tour today. We've done it a lot of times, but again, they've recently updated it, so hopefully we'll see some new stuff here. Okay, hold short. What's this down here? Rotor brake is on. Parking brake is off. Power. When will I get bored of this game? Well, yeah, that's a good question. You never know. You never know. Now, I've been doing it for like 40 years. Literally, Microsoft Flight Simulator has been out for 40 years. I had when I had an Apple II, that was one of the first things I got from my Apple II, which was Microsoft Flight Simulator. It was real different than this. You know, it was basically a cockpit. It was basically a simulation of of instrument flying. Oh, sorry about that. So it's possible. Yeah, it was like 1990. It was not. You're right. It was more like 50 years ago. It was literally in the 80s. So it's been around that long. But then they updated it every few years, and this is, you know, every year I'm like, there's more stuff to kind of cool stuff to discover. Oops. All right, we're heading this way. Parking brake is off, right? I think we're just up a little hill here. Some more power here. Okay. All right, we're almost ready to do a little taking off here. So it's an interesting takeoff procedure too. A little different than other planes. It doesn't have wings, so it doesn't have flaps or anything or trim to set for that kind of thing. But we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna head out here to the runway. Announce our takeoff. Oh, actually wants us to hold short, right? To the tower. That's the takeoff clearance. All right. Looks like we're pretty clear. North departure. Okay, good. It looks like we are taking off the opposite direction. We'll make a turn, but that's fine. All right, so as I mentioned, the most important thing is we're going to get our way to the center here. Center line is a huge runway. We need practically none of it, but that's all right. We're going to pretend we do. Okay, we're back to idle here. Slow down. Parking brake on. Okay, we'll go in here. So the parking, there's two little brakes here. There's the parking, there's the rotor brake and the parking brake. Yeah. I keep forgetting to do that. Okay. All right, we're going to take off. All right, so the rotor brake, first, that has to come off. Now we're going to build up a little power in the engine here. And then use our rotor brake pre-system. So that's a little, basically on the throttle there, you can't really see because in front of you, there's basically a bicycle grip. And you squeeze it, and it causes power to, but this is just for takeoff. So I'm watching that number there, 168. That's your RPM on the rotor. We want to get to above 200. So then we're going to go full power, release the parking brake, turn off the rotor refunction there, and then basically just pull the rotor back. Pull back on the stick. And voila viola. Right, why aren't we going? I guess we're at a decent altitude here, right? We need to get a little more. We're not getting power to the rotors that I'm expecting. Rotor brake is off, right? Is it because of altitude? I wonder, maybe you need a little more. I needed a little more forward speed before I took off because of altitude. Oh, yeah, we're at 6,000 feet. So it wasn't a great takeoff, but I think we're still going a little. We're having trouble building up speed. Yeah, having trouble building up speed in the rotors. It should be able to operate at this altitude. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what's going on here. We're gonna do a landing here. Okay. So this time I'm gonna put the parking brake on, and I'm gonna let this thing see if we can build up more speed in the rotors. How much speed can I build up using the pre-rotor function? Maybe 300 is better, and then pull forward. That's full power on the back thing. I should be able to keep my rotors going at this speed. I'm seeing, this is a plenty powerful plane. And the rotors are, you don't want to be going under 200. There we go. Now it's starting to pick up a little bit. Okay, that's a little better. We're just going to keep on full power. There looks good, right? What are these, by the way? Thanks. Don't need those. Alright, well, let's try getting there. Alright, so we want to head north departure, so that means we basically have to make a U-turn here. It's flying now. I guess that I just didn't get, because I didn't compensate to get the RPM. So we want to stay above 300 RPM on our rotors. Okay, so where all these little points of interest are is where it's starting. I think there is like a guided tour you can normally take, and it will take you. Yeah, really. Well, it's interesting. I mean, I've flown this a lot, but 99% of the time I fly it at. Now you can see the rotor's going like bad out of hell. Or we also don't want to over rotate. Get there. So like 391, 425, 500 is kind of the limit. There is a kind of guided tour you can take, and it's in a different plane, but it's like has narration stuff. But I don't want to do it because I want to talk the whole time. You're hungry as hell. Well, the pizza's on its goddamn way or not. This is very nicely redone. I've been to this airport a few times, and like these tanks, I think, are different. Like, and it's been spruced up. It'd probably be realistic. It's mostly general aviation. I don't think they fly a lot of big planes. It's a pretty good-sized runway, but. As far as I know, a lot of people who come to the Grand Canyon, you know, are taking a bus from Las Vegas or something, or they're going to come. They're going to stay, you know, driving from there. And I guess you could. That's the main terminal, but it also looks really good. There's somebody landing over there. Nice. This is kind of like one of the visitors where you might stay. I think this is kind of the closest town, if I remember correctly. I think Hobie Gal, I don't think she's here, but I think she was saying that she stayed at one of these places when they visited. Somebody I know in my chat's always like, yeah, oh yeah, I've stayed there. These look great. I mean, they're motels basically, right? But there's a bunch of them, and this is where you'd hang out and get your cheap food or whatever. I think that's a theater. I'm not sure. We got a bunch of roundabouts, and it's about a 5-mile drive up to the rim, the canyon rim. You know, and you know, it's not like, oh, you're gonna drive down to the bottom. I'm not even sure that's possible. But I think basically when it means tour of the Grand Canyon, it means coming to the rim and be able to look down, which is pretty impressive. But I think it's a separate thing to be able to actually go down underneath it. All right, how are we doing here? 310. I got to watch that thing. I think what I basically learned is that because we're at 6,000 feet up and the air is very thin, you need to get normally I only need to get it up to about 200 RPM before that takeoff. But the air, that means that the air is thick enough to effectively, as I mentioned, the aerodynamic forces. You can see how these things are very flexible, the rotors, and so they dish up and they kind of hang down when you're on the ground, and then now they're holding up the plane, so they dish upwards because they're holding up they're holding the fuselage. It's a really neat thing. And again, you can go on YouTube and you can find people who are actually flying this in the real world. It does have some disadvantages. It's got some advantages and disadvantages in the real world. It's a very, very, as you can see, it's kind of fun. You know what I mean? It's very light. It's very inexpensive to operate compared to a lot of other planes. So this is the south entrance, Grand Canyon south entrance right here. So, I mean, you can't just get through here unless I think you need a reservation or be a tour bus or something. You know, it's going to drive in, I think, during most times. I'm not 100%, I assume. But I don't know. I've never driven to the Grand Canyon. Well, I'd say I have. But it was a long time ago, and it was also from the Colorado side, from the north side. This is from the kind of the Arizona, California side. But okay, there's another visitor center up ahead, and that's basically a place where you can look over in the edge. You can see it. It's great because you can see it basically looks like a very flat area of the world. You don't see a lot of there's little mountains back there, some hills, but this whole area here almost looks like Kansas. You know, it's flat. Well, Kansas got cornfields. It's certainly got plenty of trees, and then boom, you kind of see up ahead there's something going on. But it's very impressive because you got this giant canyon appearing effectively out of nowhere. And we will be diving into the canyon, doing a little canyon carving. Normally, sometimes we do urban canyon carving, but today it's actual canyon carving. I don't remember for sure. Let's see, we got 315. I'm watching the RPM. Make sure the engine systems are healthy, plenty of gas. The interior of the ones that I've seen on YouTube is much more sophisticated and complex, and has a full screen touchscreen Garmin that this does not have. Can you open the glove compartment? Oh, you can. Nothing in there though. I keep forgetting you can do that, but you don't need a glove compartment. Although, you know, and they also make a bunch of different variations. There's a smaller one with I think it's one person. There's this is called the side by side. There's a tandem, which is when one person's in front and one person's behind you. It's long, so you have a longer, thinner fuselage. But other than that, they're kind of very similar. I don't know how many of these they sell a year. Again, what's the disadvantage? The disadvantage is kind of hard to describe, but if you watch the videos, you can see that when that control stick is directly connected to the rotors via those two poles there on the side. That's what's used to control them. And the rotor is not it's not balanced. It's to be symmetric during its thing. In other words, the stick shakes. It vibrates at the rate. So like 300, 200, it vibrates at half that rate because, anyway, it's a harmonic. And it doesn't look very comfortable to fly. And other planes do not have that issue. Where and helicopters don't have that issue also because their control scheme is a little different. And it's not necessarily terrible, but it seems to me that from watching people flying this in a long period of time, that's kind of how can I put it, physically uncomfortable for long periods of time. You know, I mentioned some planes are real comfortable to fly in, like you feel like you're driving a Cadillac and it's with like an Osprey. By the way, here's a bunch of things. You know, they talked about how they've improved the area, but this is still what we call photogrammetry of this trailer park here, which I'm guessing people who like work in the area might live in, you know, because I don't know, maybe temporary, maybe they're for rent, but those are trailers. And this is the visitor center, which I imagine if you're taking a bus from Vegas, I think it's like a three-hour drive. This is where you're going to park. And that's where your visitor center is. And then you can take this trail here. And if you want, all you want to do is say, I saw the Grand Canyon. I got the, oh my God, it does look really good though. Look at that. It is beautiful. And we got like those green tops there. And we're just diving in. This is the primary, like most people went to the Grand Canyon probably came here. And it's pretty impressive. You're seeing a tiny part of it though. It is huge. It's grand. And so they've got all these named features down here. But most of it goes up kind of the direction we're facing. It's kind of hard to tell. All right, I'm going to reduce power so we don't over-rotate. Remember, at about 500, we're over-rotating. We're at 440. So you can see the Colorado River is labeled down there. This is Skeleton Point, which is interesting. Let's just take a look. We'll use engines because we're this descent here. Wow, it's a pretty day here. I have live weather and time of day turned on, so this is what it really looks like. You know, it's not going to be nice weather all the time, I guarantee you. But if you come in July, it's probably pretty hot. But we're just going to like try to get a feel for the topography. Pipe Spring, Burrow Spring. I'm just checking out all the name points of interest here. There actually are, you know, there's you know, places. There's like a ranch down there. Especially down in that little area there, I think there's places you can effectively hike down to or get down to somehow. Because you see there's a bridge down there. There's the Angel Trail Bridge there. I think that's a footbridge. But man, you got to be in good shape if you plan on hiking down and then getting back out of this thing. I mean, you know what I mean? Look how majestic it is. We're going to head up this way. Now, as I say, you go down below there, you see there's a little kind of campgrounds. I think the ranch is effectively a campground. We've landed there before. But you can't really take off unless you're in a helicopter, which we're not. Well, I think we landed in the in that little drone thing that we had. You know, I should be adding a little negative. So yeah, down there in the Phantom Ranch, there's some buildings, there's campgrounds. You know, they looks like they have water but I think. Wait, which way is the river go? Oh no, the river goes that way. Okay, so this is a side canyon. I was wrong. If it's not where the Colorado River goes, it's not the main canyon. You can see the Colorado River goes that way, right? Actually, as a point, I should take a look at the flight plan. It'll tell us which way we're going. You could easily get lost here. Yeah, I think I want to go the other way. I want to go kind of east, and then north. Then it turns north, right? Yeah, I don't think we'll make it all the way up to the dam, but you never know. You never know. Got like another 20 minutes of flight. But see, what I want to go is not that way. We see where the river goes down that way. And then it's going to make a turn to the left at some point, or make it effectively a large turn. So this should be nice. So again, there's the ranches down there, but I don't really want to go up that way. I don't think there's anything really up that way. Again, there's a bunch of different buttes. It does look like there's a bunch of named, like peaks and things like that. That's just the topography. But we should find more stuff also down here. I guess the quick way to go to Hoover Dam would be, or quicker. We're not going that fast. Oops. There's more power here. Get the engine going. All right. I'm not really concerned about the quick way. We're here to see the Grand Canyon. Trunnion, or maybe Trumpian, or Trumpian. Yeah, I think that's an interesting idea. We're going to put, because we're patriotic Americans, of course, we are going to add his head to the Mount Rushmore. I mean, that's a done deal. New York City, of course, will be renamed New Trump City. And every podunk town in every place in the country was going to be renamed. It's going to be renamed Trumpville or Trumpton. It just makes sense to everyone, you know what I mean? But yeah, this should be named the Trump Canyon. Because, I mean, who's grander than Trump? Who's Trumpier than Trump? All right, let's wait. Need more power? Oh, yeah, I got to watch this thing. 380, yeah, I need more power. And again, the issue is, I was hoping the river would look a little more majestic. This is the Colorado River. But, you know, it's, I mean, the topography and the canyon walls look great. And then you can see these mesas up here. But yeah, this plane's not so fast. Oh yeah, I was worried about over-revving. Or over-revving my thing. Now we're down here. You can see it's not so... it's not so small. It's pretty grand. But yeah, I'm enjoying just kind of... Actually, I'm just enjoying kind of looking at the walls. But as I say, some rivers look better than others, and that kind of looks like a pond. I mean, you can kind of get what they're going for. But, yeah, it's the Colorado River has been doing this for millions of years. Well, hello! Happy Friday. I hope you're having a good Friday afternoon. I'm in my beautiful bright yellow gyro. We're going down the Grand Canyon. I've been wanting to do it. They said they updated it. So we flew from the Grand Canyon airport to the Grand Canyon Visitor Center. And then you dive into the canyon. It's pretty big, though, so we're going to be flying around it for a while. I'm thinking if we want to fly another 20 minutes, we could make it all the way to the dam, to the Hoover Dam, right? Which you can see is up here, right? You see this is Hoover Dam there, I think, or some dam. But it's, how wide? Oh, it's too far away. We won't make it all the way there. But we'll make it, it'll be a nice, majestic canyon experience. I have live weather turned on, so if we were actually flying around there, I don't know if they allow like helicopter flights through the canyon. I suspect they don't. Uh-oh. Turbulence. Getting these wall turbulence going on here. You gotta fly you gotta really fly with a lot of when you're at low altitude and in these very areas where there could be vortexes. Somebody's flying around over there. Nice. Somebody's flying the canyon. I, for some reason, don't see name tags anymore. It's turned on. I just don't see them. If I did, I might know if somebody was watching the stream. But they could probably see me. I don't know what's wrong with the game. Usually I don't get... I think probably points of interest are off now. That's fine. I don't really think I see anything. But anyway, as we go, we're gradually turning from east to northeast. It's going to take a while. All right, what do we got here? We got to look down this side canyons and stuff like that. But it's very, I mean, some people, I guess, you know, do a whole river trip down the, like, whitewater river trip down. Which I think it sounds cool to do. But imagine, you know, it's not a short trip. Oh, now we're getting more buffeting. We've got some Warren buffeting going on here. Pilot's slightly in control. Mildly under control. But again, yeah, it's just, I mean, you know, I would rather take a plane trip and spend like 30 minutes looking at it. Yeah, or yeah, be on the water. And plus, you know, I mean, if you get into a problem or you break your arm or something like that, it's, you know, it's definitely in a very desolate area. Okay, so at least I see some points of interest ahead. So maybe there'll be some main points of interest coming out. But, you know, as I say, they've updated the Grand Canyon. They just said Grand Canyon. We did see that the city area, there's a little town area, and the actual visitor center have been updated and look really good. And you can see the all these striations in the walls. It looks very realistic to me. I just don't know how they did this. You know, how they could have done it without having a taking cameras down there, or maybe it's AI. I don't know, but it looks very realistic. And you can see in the distance how those mesas are, and you know, these different little flat top areas. Very, very classic Grand Canyon. But yeah, the river will makes its bend and will start turning northeast. But yeah, it's not going to be any towns or anything like that. This is about as low as we can get and still have the Colorado River even remotely look like a river. But yeah, I want to make sure we go fast enough. You need to be traveling at least some speed in this plane, because otherwise it's affected by the turbulence quite a bit. You can slam you up against a rock wall. And you know, it can be any time. You think you're flying around straight, everything's all nice and smooth. But then some weird air current comes up. I mean, and because you're not going that fast, you really feel it. You know, when the faster jet's going to be going like 100 knots. We're only doing 64 knots. We're doing about 70 miles an hour, I would say. Which is a lot faster than a boat would be, or a burro, or even a car, obviously, on a, if there's, I don't really see any, there's no really, like, car trails, or even anywhere near here. But as I say, yeah, this is our one opportunity to see it, and that's not our one, but we've been here a few times before. You know, as I say, I've done like 1,000 of these streams, at least. So that's 1,000 different random places to visit. So there's Desert View Watchtower, 5 miles ahead. All right, we're going to floor it, because we're going to have to get the gates miles over. Let's check out the Desert View Watchtower. It's a mere 5 miles ahead. But I'm giving the engine the full juice, because we have to gain back some altitude. We're down at 3,000 feet. We got to get back up to about 6,000 feet. But that's all right. We've got plenty of fuel. And this engine is designed for long periods of time at full power. Unlike a car engine, which would explode pretty quickly. Again, an aviation engine is not a car engine. And there are people who try to adapt a car engine for aviation purposes. It's always been a terrible idea. And then, you know, they're like, well, it's because it's cheaper, because car engines are mass manufactured. They're less expensive, but they're also a lot heavier than blah, blah, blah. And they don't have dual ignition and dual fuel systems, so you got to retro. It's crazy, but yeah, no, you cannot use a car engine in a plane unless you're crazy, unless you're stupid. So there's another, okay, so it heads down that way. Oh, it's a beautiful day. But we're going to head up here and see if we can get up to the Desert View Watchtower. And maybe we'll try to, like, put her down there. I have to see if it's flat. I assume, because it says Watchtower, that it's an actual place where people are. This is about our climb rate, which is really only about 400 or 500 feet per minute. But we have about 5 minutes. We should be able to get there. And that's with full power. Yeah, it's full power. The rotor isn't powered. The only thing that's pushing us up is the forward momentum from the rear propeller there. Now, again, it's nice and simple drivetrain. You got an engine directly connected to a solid propeller. It doesn't pitch. So that's what I mentioned, why it's inexpensive to run and reliable. There's fewer moving parts in this than in either a helicopter or a plane. And it's a simple control system. Uh-oh. We're losing our... Oh, yeah, 196. Okay. I also got to watch that number, because under 200, we have to start heading down. I think we'll be able to do it, but in order to manage this upward momentum, I have to manage the trade-off between forward speed and going up very carefully. Like, you never want to be over 500 feet per minute. And I'm watching, there's a little meter down there that's showing me what it is. That's 600. I want to be 500 feet. Now, we can probably make it out of this box canyon, because effectively this is the end. I'm trying to get up there. We got 2 miles. We should be able to make it. Okay, yeah, we got plenty of... Here's what it looks like from here. Trying to gain some altitude. It's beautiful, though. And again, this is something that they warn you against in flight school. Don't ever do this. Because if you, at the last minute, you realize you're not going to make it over, you can't turn around in most kind of planes. We can in this one, but that's because we're not in an airplane. We're in gyro. Yeah, as long as we're going up, it's good, but anything over 500 means we're probably losing rotor speed. I think we'll make it over. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And if not, we'll be okay. I have full engine power. So, when do we move to the big brain games? Oh, in about 10 minutes. So, I know it's late there and you want to go to sleep, but it is what it is, man. Streams are very consistent within a few minutes. You know, sometimes I'm less engrossed. I think I can. I knew I could. All right. So as long as we make it over this little thing here, this thing, which we will, we'll be able to kind of make a turnaround and check out the Desert View Watchtower. Oh, you can already see that it is a physical tower. It is a human-built viewpoint. And this is just beautiful. But you can see how steep that canyon is behind us. We were down at 3,000 feet. Now we're at 5,700, heading to 6,200. But this was the little, the part that I was like, I hope we get over this part here. Because, it's higher that side and higher that side. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to go around to the left, and we're going to come around to the back side of it. But you can see, wow, it is just a canyon and a half. It is just a canyon. I've never heard of this place, the Desert View Watchtower, of course. But again, I don't know if there might be a road from the east side of the canyon that goes here. But maybe you have to hike into it. I don't know. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Downdrafts. Downdrafts. That's fine. We're fine. I want to stay a little away from the canyon walls here, because you get these downdrafts. And what we're going to do is going to come around this. Hopefully we'll be able to gain some more altitude. But again, anytime in almost practically any kind of plane, but specifically one that's pushed by a propeller, that's pushed by a piston engine, the higher up you get, the less efficient you are. The engine is, because it has to suck the air harder. And well, this is a turbo, but still. And the harder the wings have to work to keep you up at a certain height. But we are gaining altitude. We're at 6,400. We got to get even higher to get up to this watchtower. But the other good thing about this plane is you can shift direction in it, and you don't really lose momentum, because the wings don't have to turn. There's no turning of the wings. So I'm doing a big turn here. Okay, we gotta find out where this. Okay, there it is. Desert View Watchtower. I hope it's got something there. I don't think there's any place we can land, but we're gonna just at least get out of the. These are magical parachutes to ascend to it. And it takes all of our power, full power, to get our asses up here. That's for sure. The community. Well, fortunately around here, what the community wants is pretty unimportant. Ooh, this is pretty cool, though. We're not going to land here. We're not in helicopter. Oh. All right, well, anyway. Full power. Okay, get out of... It's about to crash. I don't care, though. Where is it? Desert View Watchtower. Oh, I forgot to hit the pause button. Okay. Hold on. There we go. All right. So, okay, we didn't see because I crashed into the hillside, but that's fine. This is the Desert View Watchtower. It looks almost medieval with these stone crenellations there for your... That's pretty cute. But I guess you get in there. But this, what I didn't know, and now what we do, is there is a whole tourist area. It's not, and it's accessible from the east side, effectively, of the, whereas the other area, and they haven't, so that's what we call photogrammetry. It's fine. But you can see they also get a great view from the tower here. We'll just admire the view, pretend we're on the top of the tower, and admire the view here. And that'll be it for the big brain, or for the flying. It's got a little bench you can hang out on. That's actually really cute, and then you get to look over the side, and there is the Grand Canyon. Looks like there's maybe campgrounds. Oh no, that's just stones. Okay, but look how majestic it could be. Now, in the real world, this would be the view on the clearest possible day. Yeah, really. You don't want to be on any plane I'm flying in that I'm actually flying. Oh my God, look, there's kind of like a volcano over there. See that over there? That's kind of cool. Like a cinder cone, ancient volcano there. And we can get up, and we can get high up there. But it is an incredible thing. Here we are flying around there. That's what we look like. That's what we look like as we're heading to the ground to crash. But nobody cares. Well, yeah. There's the watchtower. There's a bunch of other things and locations, but you can see, yeah, it's all flat basically. There's nothing much there, and then boom, this huge rift in the earth. But yeah, how much of it can you see from any one part of it, from any one location? Very little. Most of it goes way up to the north here. We're kind of on the southeast, I think. So if you see from this map here, we're here, right? And it goes way up to the north, to the west, and then way up to the north, and then up here is going to be where I believe the dam, one of the dam is. There's some dam around here, or somewhere around here. Here. Or maybe maybe it's further up. I'm thinking of. In any case, that's about all we're gonna do for the Grand Canyon today. But I liked it, as I say. Next, I missed the flying around in major cities and checking out the. They should have a whole chain of McDonald's. They should have a McDonald's like every 15 feet. But yeah, they're trying to keep it relatively, natural and pristine. All right, so we're gonna end that flight. It is about time. I got a lot of streaming to do, and plus I could still potentially get an email from work, and I have to answer it. Rarely happens on a Friday. All right, so what I'm gonna do is head into. By the way, before we do this, I want to see, like, this was the Desert View Watchtower, and then this was all this stuff here, the Colorado River. We didn't see all these things. I think these are all part of the guided tour that they have. Okay, but this is it. Okay, it's all also it heads way down this way, right? Yeah, because this is still Grand Canyon bartender. Yeah, like this west part of the Grand Canyon. I don't think we've even seen. Like, we should check out Grand Canyon West like next time. Anyway, so there's a lot more stuff to see. That's a huge canyon. We saw like a tiny part of it. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go out of the musical. Oops, I'm not sure what category I was in here. I might not have been in the right category this whole time. Nobody cares. Oh, it probably was. Just chatting for the big brain games. Okay. Quit to desktop. Hello, quit to desktop. Thank you. All right, we're going to switch over to the big brain games. It is what it is. Nobody's ever said that phrase before. Let's just get started. Let me get started. We're going to go right into that. There'll be no break or nothing. There will be a break for the guitar segment, of course. You'd love to go to dinner with me. Thank God the chances of that are very remote. Cheers. Unless you come to TwitchCon. Hey, everybody wants to meet me. You can always come to TwitchCon. The 5th year in a row. I already got my 3-day pass for TwitchCon. Like any good streamer, if somebody says, I want to meet you in real life, honestly, you could. I've never actually been in a situation where somebody walked up to me and said, I know you. You're that old guy who does Flight Simulator. But someday it might happen. All right, let's do the extreme. We're going to warm up with the extreme. Just takes a minute or two because I'm basically a speed runner for these 5-letter word games. I'm not just trying to get them correctly. This upper one it could be milky, I think. Oh, or it could be something else. Oh, we had milky lower left. I was looking at the upper left. Oh, they were the exact same, LIM. That's interesting. We have an unusual arrangement here. If you look at the top 3 words, the top left word and the bottom left word were the exact same pattern. Anyway, so now we also know that this one is going to be, let's see, it's probably going to be either, let's see, it's IMLY. Yeah, it's going to be dimly, DIMLY. Right? Really unusual, but that's all right. And we also have another word that ends in Y, has an M and a D in it. So it's going to be muddy. It's a really unusual game. We're going to get these words today. We have dimly, milky, and muddy, which are related. And then the last one thing we have here is going to be probably China. Not the country, the thing you eat dinner off of, like the plates. It's not a country, whatever. Okay, so that's what you call a speed run. All right, the next game is called Pakistan. No, it's not called Pakistan. It's called Revealed. Yesterday, I did the Revealed by myself, and I did really good. But today is a completely different one. All right, so for the Revealed, They give us this heavily redacted document. We also get the category, which is animals nature, and the correct answer, which is always BB or Benjamin Netanyahu, depending on the day. It alternates. So it makes it a very stupid game, really. All right, so animals nature. Interestingly, it's going to have 3 words in it, and it's going to be a 5, 4, and 3 letter pattern. All right. So the thing we're looking for, and then this next thing here is probably going to be a genus, family, the Greek name of it. Blank member of the blank family. We can see what that is. Blank, named for its blank, 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 and blank bodily blank. Their broad blank contains strong muscular blank that support 4 blank blank that are used for blank. They are renowned for their long blank, blank, low blank rates, and blank habit. Contrary to what their blank suggests, blank have about 100 blank blank on their blank that function like blank to help them feel their blank. I know what it is. Do you guys know what it is? It's Big Black Clock. I know what it is, but I'll give you guys a few minutes to catch up with my thinking. Anybody out there want to help out? No? You're not even thinking about it. No, after I write it in and it goes correct, you will be low. I knew that all the time. You knew it was a naked mole rat. See? Why didn't you tell me a second ago? You cheat. You're a cheater. All right. So the naked mole rat, by the way, yes. What was the giveaway? Whiskers to help them feel their surroundings. That means it's a mole because fine hair on their skin that functions because they can't see but they can feel, and so it's a mole. So, but it couldn't have been it couldn't have been a mole because or mole would only fit in the 4th one. You know what I mean? And I happen to know about a thing called they're actually a member of the rodent family. They're mole rats. They're not moles technically. But they're evolved to similar. They're naked because hair will slow you down when you're digging underground. In general, they don't help you. And hair, which is also known for helping you keep your heat, keeping the heat. Well, they use the heat of the earth, effectively to keep their heat. They don't need hair to insulate them from cold air. See the results. How do we do? We needed the 0, 0. I did not cheat. There's your naked mole rat. 4.8 reveals 3.8. This is 55. A very low solve rate, though. But you know what? That's what you call a big fucking win for the big brain. Okay. Not all the puzzles so far. We got 2 out of 2. But no, I'm not gonna win them all. That's fine. All right. Now's the time I'm gonna do the tightrope trivia. So you're just gonna watch this one, or if you want to be a troll, you can just type the answers as soon as I type them in. Fine with me. All right. So it's the Friday quiz. It's the second to the hardest quiz. The Saturday is harder, then so is the Sunday. I never get the Sunday, rarely. Sometimes I get the Friday quiz, 9 questions. It's timed so that you got to get them fast. You can't sit there thinking. You can't be here distracted by this beautiful blonde lady and her blonde tresses. Oh, she left. All right, I'm going to play. Cover up small parks. This is... Oof, wild guess. It was that or the other one. Oof. And it's already a really hard one that I had to guess on. Annie Hall. That one I have to guess on. Bird Lovers Boulders Beach. This is African penguins up close. Also, I'm a Cape Town fan. I know people in Cape Town. Let me put it that way. Professional wrestler. What actor's a limo driver? Wasn't it? Oh, it wasn't Statham. Oh, Encino. Oh, fuck that. I would not got that one. Which was it? Hockney? It was Coons. He's already hard because those are all artists, modern artists. Which element? Violet colored. It's iodine is for violet colors. But I can already tell this. I don't care. It's a trivia quiz. Sometimes you're going to get them. Sometimes you're not. Calcium so they can bend without breaking. I don't know. Raccoon's not technically a mammal. I guess I know he is, right? I don't know. Milliner this makes what by trade? Hats. The theme song. Believe in yourself. For what long? Arthur. Would not have known that one. God, these are hard. But good. I wasn't going to get that one today. But it's the nature of trivia. Some things you know, some things you don't. Yeah, you're typing in after. You're hilarious. I want you to do this every single time. You have to be here. If you're not here, I'm just going to quit streaming. You know, that's how it is. If I don't have viewers, why would I stream? You know what I mean? If I don't have like hundreds and hundreds of all right, let's move on. The next one I like to do is the reunion. And if you want to help out, all you got to do is figure out what the words are that these letters are actually going to go to, okay? I have one, but exactly. You don't need a lot of viewers. You just need one who orders you around a lot. All right, so what do we know? I want to say, okay, the green letters are in their final positions and can't be moved. The yellow letters are on the right row or column, except that, like, if it's where the Y is, it's on the right column. Where the C is on the right column. And if it's white, it's on the wrong row and column. But it's got to be moved to be that's the right one. But other than that, we don't know. We just got to figure out what these words possibly could be. I think this word here, like there's these two A's are yellow. That leads me to believe that, I mean, this could be, the A could be here, right? So I'm just going to take a guess. So I don't know what the word is, although I think it could be like chain or chair. So it could be a C, H. We know it's not T. There's no available S. Look at A in the last row. Well, also we have a Y here, and the Y's almost always go at the end of the word. So I believe this Y here is going to go here. Oh, that was a good one because the A went in its right place too. Ooh, we're doing good here. But I think this C in the bottom is going to go at the top. I don't know about that. But that's helpful. All right, so this M, well, this C here, so it can't be Cocoa, C-O-C-O-A, because the O would be different. So I don't think the C can go there. It could be C-O-M something. Yeah, that's not a 5-letter word. We don't have a K. I mean, look, try to be helpful. This could be something where it's two L's at the end and two L's over here, where A-L-L-Y, and there's also two N's here. Or two L's there, because we have an L. Yeah, there's no available S. Okay, also, I remember this could be C-H-I, but there's limited numbers of things that can be. It could be chair or like, right? But there's no available R. The M can't go there. The N can go there. All right, so chain can be the only thing that's available that can go after CHI is N, and it can go there. And I think now this word, now that I see this like this is gonna be totally, because I already suspected that this L went there. And then this word is probably, I think where the E's are. Is going to be where the hedgehog and the fox get together. So this word at the top, now I think it is going to be comet at the top, right? Because it could be. We're doing pretty good so far. And then this word here across is going to be ascot, type of tie. That's interesting. Interesting. That this B turned yellow. Oh yeah. So the where the B and the E, those are going to be marked out. Um, but the A is going to be there for all. Okay, and then the B. Oop, fuck. The B is going to be there. Why wasn't the A there? Oh, ill. Oh, I messed up. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. And then, okay, so, and then machine. Okay, all right. Slightly messed up and beefy at the bottom. I messed one thing up. But 17 is considered a win because it's below my average of 17.2. Could have got it in 16 if I didn't make one mistake. I think it was all where it was ill. But I figured out where that chain pretty easily, and that helped a lot. And then I kind of had a good feeling about totally. But the other things took a while. Anyway, there's an extreme version, which is basically slightly harder that I'll be doing later. Well, other players did it in 17 as well. So if you look at the other players, we're very close. So this was probably kind of an easy one. I should have gotten it at 16. I just, don't want to take forever, and there's more games to go. Let's see. We've done the revealed. We've done the tightrope. We've done the reunion. We've done the Quirtle, but we have not done the loop. So we're going to do loop. Now, this is one where we're all going to work together to figure out what these connections are between these ideograms, pictures which represent things. Okay, so this woman is throwing the bouquet at her wedding. That's a very important thing. So are these all the bridesmaids, or she's just throwing the bouquet? All right, that's the thing we have to, that's the starter clue here. Okay, and here is a bicycle pump. We have a battleship. We have somebody playing Minesweeper on the easiest level. When I play Minesweeper, it's on the fucking expert level, and I'm really good at it. Let's put Minesweeper next to the battleship because those are kind of related, right? And then we have mines. So Minesweeper. Actually, would the battleship go on the mines, or would it go on the battleship or on the Minesweeper game? We'll have to think about that, actually. Oh, and this is a chimney sweeper. So no, I think it goes there. Then this is the mine sweep, chimney sweep. Okay. Oh, yeah, and then we got a fire. He's gonna be connected to the chimney sweep. Okay, this is a dual, parachuting, dual skydiving. Tandem skydiving. That's the name of this. It's called tandem skydiving. And we have a tandem bicycle. So we're going to put tandem skydivers next to the tandem bicycle for now. All right, this is a bellows. Will that be associated with the fireplace? These guys are laughing, but it looks like... Oh, that's a trust fall. It's a trust fall. He's doing a trust fall. Okay. Let's see. This is a guy shooting a T-shirt cannon. You think that might be related to the boat, because T-shirt cannon, this thing has cannons, get it? And I think this actually might be related to that guy, so we might be doing well. Okay, so this guy is doing a trust fall. I think that would be more related to that guy. All right, let's see how we did. Again, I never get it right the first time. Never get it right the first time. We got it right the first time. Look at that. Look at that perfect score. This compensates for the shitty job I did on the fucking trivia quiz. We're going to admire this for a freaking little while. Okay, so let's just say, okay, we have the wedding. Is this, and so she's throwing the bouquet, and here's the guy, just to people who are looking, here's a guy shooting a T-shirt cannon, right? And here's the battleship with the cannons, and it's avoided, but it has to avoid the anti-ship mines, and then that's to the Minesweeper game, which is attached to the chimney sweeper, which he goes down to the fireplace. The bellows are used to keep the fire going in the fireplace. The tire pump and the bellows are both used to pump air. You pump air into your tandem bicycle tires. Then you go tandem parachuting. That's a tandem skydiving. And this is a trust fall. I guess these are things you do in tandem, you know. The interesting connection on what I want to see is what's the difference between a trust fall? A trust fall involves, and the tandem skiving involves trusting other people. But what is it? Bouquet tosses and trust falls involve people standing behind someone with their back turned. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Right. Okay. 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 Yeah, I did. Results. Yeah, results. Sorry. Um, we have a 17 string, 99% win rate. And you know, it doesn't tell you too much. It doesn't tell you what other players did, I don't think, which is right. If we do stat, oh no, it does how other players did. 14% of the players, which is, I bet we haven't tried it. We should be looking at it. Yeah, okay. So 14% of the players got it like where we did, which is the top. I usually aim for this second position here, where 32% of the players. So, and then once you're down here, you suck. Once you get down to 3, 4, 5, especially on a relatively easy one. This one here, the other thing we'll be looking at these every day. I've never seen this before, so thanks for telling me about this. But the solve rate for this was very high, and the difficulty I think is related low. Thus, we did pretty good in getting these together. It did seem like they were pretty obvious. At least some of them were more obvious than usual. So yeah, that was fun. All right, there's at least one more game I want to do. Oh, there's two more, right? We want to do the we got to do the connections because we got a streak. By the way, I've done it every day for hundreds of days, but they randomly will cancel your streak on you. All right, so we got 4 groups of 4. You guys are gonna help me out. I'm gonna read them out. We got to figure out what the affinity group is, and watch out. There's often a fake affinity, 5th affinity group. I'm just warning you. 1 second here. All right, so let's read these out and see if we can come up with a good affinity group right away. Okay, Spark, Canter, Llama, Jog, Walk, Yak, Single, None, Ramble, Prompt, Friar, Drone, Refresh, Strikeout, Babble, and Home Run. Okay. Well, let's see. Walk, Canter. Are these horse? But a horse doesn't jog, right? It'd be gallop. And then what? Even if it was walk, canter, jog, and then what? Ramble? What else would be walking around or moving from place to place? Don't think so. You think? Well, I think ramble, drone, babble, and yak go together. What do you think of that? Because I think these are all kind of, prompt. You like it? All right, let's try it. I like it too. Yeah. Talk at length. All right, good. We got one down. That's always helpful. The first one's the roughest one in many ways. Even it's often the easiest one. Okay. Strikeout, home run are baseball terms. So is single, and so is walk. Specifically, these are 4 things that can happen at an at-bat. Maybe you're not a baseball fan, which is why you probably wouldn't know that. Outcomes for a batter. Those are what can happen. Basically, you can get double or triple. They're not the only things that can happen. You could get hit by pitch. All right. Canter, Prompt, Friar, Llama, Refresh, Spark, Jog, and None. It's a weird set. We're still got nothing here. Jog, Spark, Refresh, and Prompt. Prompt like something you do to memory, right? To memory. But then I want to look. Then would Canter, Friar, Llama, and None have any possible connection? Yes. Okay. I already know it. I already know that both of them. So this is definitely correct, and I'll tell you the 4th one. All right. So Canter is these are all homonyms of religious people. So a cantor is a cantor. That's a Jewish singer. A friar is a friar, Friar, a Christian monk type guy. A llama is a llama, Lama, blah blah blah. And a nun is an nun, nun. So these are homophones of religious people's names. Okay, easy. Because today the brain is operating on all down cylinders. We got one more game, but yeah, except for the one that I sucked at, the trivia quiz. We have a perfect. Oops, let's look at the puzzle again. I think this was a fairly hard one, but for whatever reason, it wasn't that hard. Also, yeah, the same thing here. Do they have? Oh yeah, how hard was today's puzzle with connections bot? Let's analyze your game. So that's the other thing is we can do the same thing here, which I don't normally do, but you can do it. Number of mistakes today. So 46% of players got no mistakes, but we'd have to compare this to other games. But it also is related as an 1 out of 5 difficulty level, right? Okay. And I agree with that. That was an easy one. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. We got to finish up the big brain games. I'm just going to do a real quick octurtle here. We're going to do the hardest one. And then I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to bring my guitar, plug it in, blah, 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 set up my camera, just stick around the guitar, try to sing a song. By all means, get ready to smash that mute button as fast as you quickly can and as hard as you can, because you want to make sure it's muted. You don't want to accidentally hear a few notes of me trying to sing here. All right, what about this one here? S something... Okay, this could be S something APE, most likely. So could it be shape? Yes. But could it be scape? SCAPE, scape. And then we have this one here, it has a W and a D. Tricky. All right, what else we got? Oh, we got some others that might not be too hard. This one here is something probably going to be shady, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's got to have to be shady. I don't think there's anything else that can go in there. And that's helpful because, yeah, now I know it's shape and not scape. So that gives us this one as well, which I thought it was going to do. All right, let's get the 2 easy ones. There's 6 to go. All right, so now we have, it's probably something, S something, EA something. So I'm thinking it could be, let's see. It could be steak, right? But it could also be steam. Oof. I want to wait a bit on that because those 2 things it could easily be. I want to see if there's something that's going to be easier here. Like up here, okay, we know there's 2 E's and we know where they are, and there's a P and an R. It almost certainly ends in ER. So it's either PE something ER. I can't think of anything to be, or EPER. What could that be? No. So, oh, and there's an L, sorry. So it's repel, R-E-P-E-L. Thank you. Oh, yeah, sorry. You set it up there before I typed it, fine. But I probably saw it at the corner of my eye. Yeah, you got it. All right, that's one for the community of 1. All right, look, see if you can figure out, these are going to be, all right, that's going to be hard. All we know is there's an F. This one, we know there's an L and an I. That's not a lot of letters to go on. This one here, though, is interesting. There's a D and an N. Oh, we have a bunch of vowels we haven't used. So this one, I'm just going to guess because we don't have all day. Undo. It's in the dictionary, and it ends in E. It has a D and an N in positions they could be in. And even if it doesn't, we need this U, but I think it is. Okay, good. So that U is really helpful up here. Oh, interesting. This really told me a lot about what this word could possibly be on the upper right, because it ends in UE and has an F in it. Got to be fugue. And that gave us the G, eliminated the G. That's good. Excellent. All right. So we're making progress here. This still could be steam or steak, STEAM or STEAK. Why they're not pronounced steam and steak? Why they're pronounced differently? I don't know. Nobody knows. Why they should be steak or if it's gonna be steak, it should be stame, and if it's gonna be steam, it should be steak. But nobody knows. They're pronounced differently. Nobody knows why. All right, this one here. There's a W somewhere. And if it's at the end, that means there's another. It could be widow, W-I-D. Follow my logic here. D-O, right? And it could have two W's in it. Tricky, huh? All right. But that was the first time we've even used an O. Oh, good. The O is in here. I had a feeling. So now we know there's an I, L, and an O. You type that well after I type that in. Okay, let's see. It could be OI there. Or it's not viola because of the E. But it could be OI. Is toil with an I at the end of it a word? That word? Because it fits. I don't know if that's a word. You don't think it's a word? I'm not sure it's a word either. Well, in which case it won't let me. It would be reds because you just do random word. It's definitely a word. It's definitely in the dictionary. Because if it wasn't, it would be red. And I'm kind of thinking maybe it is. All right, what's the other? We have 2 to get, so we have 4. Oh yeah, that's the number 4. Now we have 8. All right, that's the one I don't know. We have to guess. But we have 3 guesses left. And if I'm right, let's just guess what. Okay, because I think there's a T in that other one. So we're gonna guess steam because it's always the other one. But let's see. Okay, there was no T in this one, so it's not toil. Let's see. It could be. It might start with an. No. Oh, and there's that O somewhere. Well, give it some time. So I'm pretty sure this one's going to be steak, right? Because it was a 50-50. We still have two guesses left. We have to get it anyway, right? Because it'd be anything else, right? V, C, or T. No. All right, let's just do it. We got screwed by the 50-50. But that's fine. There's the last one. Okay, it also doesn't have a K in it. All right, we should be able to suss out what this word is. There's an O. We know where the E is. There's an L, an O, and an I. And the I can go in only through. Okay, either it starts with an I or the I is in position 3. That's the only choices. If it starts an I, there can't be an E. It could be an O, but if neither one of them is then it's L is there. So, and then be O-L-E. I don't see any words like that. I don't think that's a word either. But keep thinking. Keep coming up with words. And then the L can go, or the L can go there. So I-L something, something E, but it has to have an O next. I don't see any of the words that could end in E. But those are the 3 letters we have to work with, right? An I, an L, and an O. Okay, so I don't think it begins in O. Oh, wait a minute. O-L-I. Olive. We should have seen this before, by the way. Don't you think? All right, that's a win. See, it says I win right there. Okay, well, let's look at the game. I think the big brain. Look, I was excited about the previous big brain game, even though that was easy. both the loop, which we got really good, well done, and the connections were rated easy puzzles, which is good. You know, they're not all being the same difficulty. This one was probably an easier one, but we won. We got all 8 of these words in nine guesses. You only get 9 guesses. Even with guessing Steam wrong, all the other ones were correct. That's kind of cool. Honestly, this is not as, I make this look easier than it is. Especially most people are not going to see F and a UE and go fugue, but I am, because I kind of memorized the dictionary. Olive is a pretty simple word. I probably should have got that earlier, but you know, it's got a lot of vowels in it. Anyway, it's fine. All right, that ends the big brain games for the day. Let me switch over to the music category for the remainder of the show. The television program broadcast from here in the Pleasanton Studios, the Kinch Niner Niner Studios. Okay, I'm in the music category, but I'm going to take a short break, set up my camera, set up my guitar. We'll see how it goes, play the guitar, that kind of thing. So I'll see you on the other side. I'm in mid-roll. Hello, Stream Boo. How are you doing? I love my Stream Boo. All right, so let's get this set up a little bit here. That's not right. Like that. All right, how is everybody? Am I muted? No, I'm not even muted. Cool. Let's see where the music category. Oh, why is it going on here? The little wire is messed up. It's pushing things around. Pushing my camera into a weird position. This is a nice guitar. we'll do a little guitar talk, a little TED talk about guitars. I've got roughly 16 guitars. You know, it's too many, but it's not that they all get played. It just I kind of rotate through them. But occasionally, yeah, I get bitten by the urge to purchase yet another guitar, and then another guitar gets purchased, and this is that case. I went to the Eagles concert at the Sphere in March of this year. It's for celebrate my 66th birthday. And it's an incredible concert. I mean, it's just an unbelievable experience all around. Like, there's nothing like seeing a concert at the Sphere, and there's nothing like seeing your musical idols like the Eagles. And at one point, Joe Walsh, actually, he played a bunch of guitars. He's the Strat, he plays the Strat, he plays the Les Paul. But for one song, he plays this guitar. I mean, he plays the made in Japan version of this guitar, but it's a Yamaha Revstar. It's in they call this Sunset Burst or something like that. I call it Desert Fade, because it kind of fades. They call it. It's really well made. This is the version that they make in Indonesia. It's a lot less expensive, but it's still. I mean, Guitar Center sells them now, brand new for $930. It was on sale 10% off, so it was like $840. But then I traded a guitar I didn't like as much. I traded an SG Modern Epiphone SG Modern, and I got like $300 for it, which was a good deal actually, because I only paid $600 for it. So they took that off the price of this, so I ended up paying like less than $400. It's a brand new guitar. Trying to find out where the best tones are. Because unusually it has two pickups, and that's a very normal two humbucker pickups. It's got these beautiful inlays. I think these are real mother of pearl inlays. I'm not 100% sure. Headstock with a Yamaha logo on it. It's really well made. It's got carbon reinforced neck rods in there, some carbon neck rods for reinforcement, as well as the truss rod. It's got stainless steel frets. You can't really see the difference between stainless steel frets, but you can tell because I've been playing it for a couple months now, and they show zero wear. Like, it looks like the frets are brand new. Over time, like over years of playing, they will start to show some wear, but not like what we call the nickel silver frets, which I've had on a guitar I'll play for a year, and I'm like, ooh, there's some problems. The frets are starting to wear. Which is why I this is one of the, now I have two guitars that have stainless steel frets. I really like the idea that a guitar I can play a lot and not wear out the frets, and, not have to worry about it. So I was at the Sphere. And yeah, I'm Joe Walsh. So it's like a celebrity endorsement when you see a guitar hero of yours. Which one do I want to go here? I was impressed by both the fact that he played a great sounding guitar, but also that you could buy one of these guitars brand new. It's a Guitar Center exclusive finish in the exact same finish, and it was the cheaper and made in Indonesia version. The made in Indonesia version and the made in Japan version are identical in terms of their specs. The only difference is the made in Japan version says made in Japan on the back, and it comes with a hard case, and this one says made in Indonesia, and it comes with a gig bag. But there's the Japanese one is 3 times more expensive. Is it 3 times better? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't played it. I don't see how it could be. So you get a lot of interesting features. You get 2 pickups, but you get a 5-way selector switch here. So you get just the bottom pickup and the middle pickup phase shifted. Yeah, that's the good ones. I agree. It's the middle pickup and the bottom pickup, or the neck and the bridge in phase. Then you get the neck and the pickup in the other kind of phase, called an alternate phase. And then the final position is neck only. But add to that, if you go there, there's also the focus position, which is where you pull out this guy here. All right, you go to sleep. But thanks for coming by. I really do appreciate it. If you're around tomorrow or the day after, blah, blah, blah. I wish you a great rest of your night, too. I'm just going to dig around the guitar for a while. You know how it goes. You know, today's stream, tomorrow's stream, next day, more stream. Day after that, more streaming. So, you know, come by again. We'll do more games. Have a good time. Or don't. I'm going to do it anyway, whether you come by or not. But thank you anyway. Anyway, I like this guitar a lot. There's nothing I dislike about it. I'm not sure, except for the strings. These are the strings it came with. They're high-end Elixir NanoWeb strings. They're good strings, but I don't use them on any of my other guitars. All my other guitars, well, I use a couple of different ones, but generally I either use D'Addarios 110s or Reball regular Slinkies, and I'm really used to those strings. So I'm probably going to change these strings to just to strings I'm used to. But I don't know if they'll make any difference at all. I mean, these are pretty much new strings. Anyway, just gonna take around for a bit. And then I'm gonna sing, but you know, not for a bit. Hello. I don't know where that is in Colorado. Lyman, Lyman, I think. Colorado's big. I'm sure it's in the mountainous part. We flew around a very small part of the Grand Canyon today. Man, that place is huge. All right. Hmm. Loudon Wainwright the third song called Unhappy Anniversary. It goes like this. Unhappy anniversary. 1 year since we split. Walking down. Boy, that's really high. Where do I normally sing this one? Unhappy anniversary. 1 year. Actually, I think we do this without any capos. Oh, I forgot. Sometimes I like that. I have to sing. Unhappy anniversary. 1 year since we split. Walk and talk and get around. Stand up, lie down and sit. I eat and drink and smoke and sleep. Hold on a second here. I keep forgetting. Need my reverb. Live a little bit. Unhappy anniversary. It's 1 year since we split. Unhappy anniversary. It's 10 years since we met. There is no need to remind me, no way I could forget. We fell in love, then we fell out. Both times there was no net. Unhappy anniversary. It's 10 years since we met. Unhappy anniversary. I cannot count the days, the nights that I have thought of you since we went separate ways. I tell my mind to forget you, but my heart, it disobeys. Unhappy anniversary. I cannot count the days. Unhappy anniversary. It's 1 year since we split. Walk and talk and get around. Stand up, lie down and sit. I eat and drink and smoke and sleep. Live a little bit. Unhappy anniversary. It's 1 year since we split. I like singing it, singing along and just playing without the accompaniment. So we're going to do Wonderwall in that method. I just need the lyrics, and I tend to forget them. Do a little solo Wonderwall. Then I'm gonna go to the Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Now the roads we have to walk are winding, and our lives and lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. As maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. After all, you're my Wonderwall. Today is gonna be the day, but they'll never throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And how the roads that lead you there were winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. And maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. After all, you're my wonder wall. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. After all, you're my wonder wall. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. I'm not gonna do this. I still like doing that song as a solo, without the backings, without the backingnesses. I like the backing tracks though. Find a backing track song here. I found out I always say it was a long time ago. It's a long time ago. I don't know why I have a problem here. Okay. I like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin so brown. I wanna sleep with you in the desert tonight, with a billion stars all around. 'Cause I got a peaceful, easy feeling. I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing on the ground. And I found out a long time ago what a woman can do to your soul. Oh, but she can't take you anyway. You don't already know how to go. a friend. But this voice keeps whispering in my other ear, tells me I may never see you again. 'Cause I get a peaceful, easy feeling. I know you won't let me down. 'Cause I'm already standing. I'm already standing. Yes, I'm already standing on the ground. One song to do with old karaoke's. Sing key. Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's time when a woman sure can be a friend of mine. When I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden Hair Surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been much more correspondent. I've been too hard to find, but it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. I don't mind saying, I just can't make it. Well, I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden Hair Surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one more correspondent. I've been too hard to find, but it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle where you keep me in the air? Will you love me just a little, just enough to show you care? Well, I tried to fake it, I don't mind saying it, I just can't make it. Okay, I had a good time doing that. I don't know if we'll do Creep today. Let's see what else we got here. Got a bunch of songs I don't mind doing. Yeah, skip Creep. Let's see. Probably just do this one because it's a standard.
Days when the rains came down in the hall, pick a new game, laughing and running, hey, sleeping in our job. Hey, the misty morning love with our hearts a-thumping, and you, a brown-eyed girl. Whatever happened to Tuesday so slow, going out of the old mind with the transistor radio, standing in the sunlight, nothing hiding behind a rainbow's wall, flipping in a slider, all along the waterfall with you, brown-eyed girl. Sing la 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 la, just like that. La 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 la. Just to find my way now that I'm on my own. I saw you just the other day, not how you have grown. I catch my memory back there, Lord. Someone's on the cone, thinking about it. I'm making love in a green grass behind the stadium with you, my brown-eyed girl. La 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 la. La 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 la
la. Got one or two more songs in him. I'm just gonna try to, wear the voice out on a daily basis. All these good songs I want to do. I'm gonna do this one. I'm not gonna play this thing. I don't know what it's called. That's like singing it.
Like the pine trees winding the winding road.
Mind it.
I've got a name. I've got a name. Like the singing bird and the croaking toad. I've got a name. I've got a name. And I carry it with me like my daddy did. But I'm living the dream that he can't give. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Like a north wind whistling down the sky, I've got a song, I've got a song. Like the whippoorwill and the baby's cry, I've got a song, I've got a song. And I carry it with me and I sing it loud. If it gets me nowhere, I go there proud. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. They can change their minds, but they can't change me. I've got a dream. I've got a dream. I know I could share it if you want me to. If you're going my way, I'll go with you. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by.
That's hard. Those high notes are hard. I'm gonna do one more song that I'm gonna play along with. But I have to do Torn. Much easier songs for the singer. It's a female singer.
A man brought to life. He was warm, he came around like he was dignified. Showed me what it was to cry. Well, you couldn't beat that man I adored. You don't seem to know, don't seem to care what your heart is for. I don't know him anymore. There's nothing where he used to lie. My conversation has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm out of faith. This is how I feel. Cold and I am shaking, lying naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. Wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. A little late, I'm already torn. So I guess the fortune teller's right. I should have seen just what was there, not some holy light. But you crawl beneath my veins and now I don't care. I have no luck, I don't miss it all that much. There's just so many things that I can't touch, I'm torn. I'm out of faith. This is how I feel. Cold and I am shamed. I am naked on the floor. The illusion never changed into something real. Wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. You're a little late. I'm already torn. Nothing where you used to lie. My inspiration has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's right, I'm torn. I'm out of faith. This is how I feel. Cold and I am shamed. I am naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. Wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. I'm out of faith. This is how I feel. Cold and I'm ashamed, bound and broken on the floor. You're a little late. I'm already torn. Torn. Oh,
is how I feel. Cold now. Okay, I want to do the sign. Sing cable, right? Oh, I do cable 5, don't I, right? Last song. Person like me care for you. Why do I bother? You're not the one for me. Is enough enough? I saw the sign. Open up my eyes, I saw the sign. Life is demanding without understanding. I saw the sign. It opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. No one's gonna drag you up to get into the light where you belong. But where do you belong? Under the pale moon for so many years I've wondered who you are. How could a person like you bring me joy? Under the pale moon where I see a lot of stars. Is enough enough? I saw the sign. It opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. Life is demanding without understanding. I saw the sign. It opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. No one's gonna drag you up, get into the light where you belong. But where do you belong? I saw the sign and opened up my mind, and I am happy now living without you. Left you, I saw the sign. Open up my eyes, I saw the sign. No one's gonna drag you up, get in the light where you belong. I saw the sign. I saw the sign. And open up my eyes, I saw the sign. I'm way off key. I don't care. I mean, it's vocal exercise. That's the point. It's not singing. It's vocal exercise. See what I'm saying? All right, let's move out of this little thing here. The reason why I'm panicking, I'm like, got into the stream 2 hours, 2 hours, 5 hours. It's like, it's not like, you know. What happens is that if I stream for another 5 minutes, I will literally turn into a pumpkin, and a bunch of the white mice and the pup. No, I don't turn into a pumpkin. What do I turn into after I turn to Sleeping Beauty? I don't know. It doesn't matter. All right. So the show, look what we did. Look, let me recap the show. I always do the recap at the end. Okay. So first I started the show, and then I did the show, and now I'm ending the show. That's the recap. What do you want to know? All right. So we flew around a small part of the Grand Canyon. It took forever. I think it's Grand. Or we are renaming it, by the way. It's not Grand Canyon, it's Trump Canyon, okay? In honor of the world's the greatest president that ever has been, ever shall be. Trump Canyon, not Grand Canyon. So we did the big. Guess what about the big brain game? I'm about to tell you, it was a mixed bag, but it was actually I was really impressed with my ability to solve the loop and the connections perfectly. And then we looked at the difficulty level of today's quiz. It was like the easiest possible difficulty level. So I felt good because I was like, oh, we did really good on the brain games. You know, we did better than ever on the brain games, but no, they were just super easy. A couple of them were just extra easy today. Still did get the Quirtles and the Octurals, I think. Yeah, we got the Quirtles and the Octurals. Oh, and the revealed. I didn't even have to cheat on the revealed, and that was a hard one. The answer to the revealed is naked mole rat. I mean, you know what I mean? That was the answer, and I got that with no reveals. You can check that. Actually, that was one of the best reveals because I'm pretty sure that was that one was a hard one, and I got it perfectly in no time at all. It was really good. That was a very satisfying reveal. Then there was a short break, and then I played the guitar for a while. So, okay, what about tomorrow's show? Will there even be a show tomorrow? Of course there'll be a show tomorrow. I had such a good time today. Why wouldn't I do it again tomorrow? It'll be broadcast from the same studios, the Kench 999er studios right here in Pleasanton, California. Basically same starting time, roughly 11:30 a.m., maybe a little later, maybe a little early. You don't know. Nobody knows. It'll go for about 2 hours. We'll be flying around. There'll be the Ken's Piano Lounge or some kind of piano playing. Followed, and that's the second part, right? The big, you get the idea. And then at the very end, I'm going to do this tomorrow. Watch, I'm going to do this tomorrow, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do tomorrow, today. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Bye, everybody. See you next time. I'm gonna rate my friend Heavenly. See you. Bye. Not really my friend, but you know what I mean. Somebody I want.